However, you know who does understand what's going on, that this is really a war between the West and Russia? Ukrainian soldiers. You heard me right. Ukrainian soldiers who are now switching sides and have joined the Russian military.
I was in captivity, and I realized that if I returned to Ukraine, I would be thrown back into the trenches, dying once again for a cause that doesn't even exist. I'd be fighting for a worthless government that betrayed me once, and it will betray me again. The government doesn't care whether I live or die. They've lined their pockets with money, and at the first opportunity, they'll just run away. Whether it's to the West, Europe, or America, it doesn't matter. They'll take that money and leave the people of Ukraine to perish.
Isn't that amazing to hear that? That interview, by the way, was conducted by Patrick Lancaster. He's an American YouTuber who is in Ukraine doing these YouTube entries that you could see for yourself while he's covering the war. And he came across several Ukrainian soldiers who've switched sides, and he put a microphone in front of them. This soldier in particular, by the way, that you just saw there, he worked for Zelensky's presidential brigade. And now he refers to Russians and Ukrainians together as brothers.
When I was imprisoned, the guards commented that I seemed like a decent guy and mentioned a unit that was active at the time. Now it's a battalion. They carry out various missions and fight for different causes. This piqued my interest, so I asked some representatives from that unit to meet with me. When they came, I expressed my desire to join them and fight for Ukraine's freedom. Everyone in this unit has walked the same path as I have. They've made the same choice. It's a voluntary decision to genuinely fight for your country and speak openly without fear. In Ukraine, for instance, I couldn't have done that because the SBU would have arrested me, and who knows what they would have done to me in their dungeons. Now I can speak freely. I'm telling the truth as it is. I can express myself without fearing for my life because I'm here. The people back home are still very much in the dark. Yes, our younger brother is struggling because Ukraine and Russia are like two brothers, one older and one younger. They may squabble over things, but at the end of the day, brothers should always support one another. That's why I believe Russia helps Ukraine, not like the narrative of genocide against the Ukrainian people suggests. Come on, that's utter nonsense. Have you seen how much aviation and weaponry Russia possesses? If Russia had intended to wipe Ukraine off the map, they would have done so long ago. But that hasn't happened.
As I was listening to him and preparing this material so I could share it with you, I came across something he said that really kind of got me. And I thought it was, because it's so human, right? I mean, what you're about to hear now is really poignant, I think, if not the most human moment in this interview. At least it was for me. You decide for yourself. It's when this soldier explains what happened at the moment that he was captured and what happened when he was first approached by Russian soldiers. Here it is.
Initially, I truly believed we were being invaded, that Russian soldiers were the occupiers taking my land. However, I soon realized this perception was misguided. They were not monsters. When I was taken captive, I had already informed my superiors that we would surrender, while two of my comrades refused, and tragically, they were killed during the fighting. As I stepped out of the bunker to surrender, one Russian soldier approached me and said, "Please forgive us, but we've killed two of your men." In that moment, I thought, what's happening? Are these really the occupiers? The ruthless beasts coming to annihilate us? No, they're just people too. They understand that the soldiers of the Ukrainian armed forces have been thrust into this conflict against their will.
Different story than the one we hear from President Trump, is it? They actually went and apologized for what they had done. And by the way, as you watch this, right, you'd think the Kremlin must have put that together. It's got to be a propaganda film or something. No! You could go see this yourself. It's on YouTube, and the dude who's doing it is just a guy who went there from the United States, he's an American, and he's been putting out these videos. And I just learned there's a whole battalion of former Ukrainians who are now fighting for the Russian army. What does that tell you, right? What does that tell you? Soldiers like him and a lot of others among Russians and Ukrainians, both sides, interestingly enough, don't see this war as a personal grudge match between two peoples. That's just not the way they see it. It's so different.